Our institutions of higher learning are supposed to be where the next generation of leaders not only learns about history, but begins to shape their own ideas and dreams for the future. There was a time, I guess, when it was all about a freewheeling exchange of ideas. That, however, thanks to some people, is a shattered dream that has turned into nothing more than a partisan wine fest at times. The topic of this, checks and balances, free speech at the university level. Welcome in special correspondent Francesca Page, who now brings it to us. It is, it kind of caught me right away, but I always thought college was where one was supposed to expand their learning.
Indeed, Ed, and that's our point of discussion, or will be today. Let's talk about free speech in universities. Universities are often known as institutions, like you say, Ed, to develop your own voice as a student. However, controversy has recently arisen around the notion of free speech in these universities. Many argue that far leftists have been seeking power through suppressing this free speech at a university level. Last month, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, argued to be one of the most accomplished women of the nation, withdrew her Rutgers University commencement speech after 2 months of protests about her role in the Iraq War. While many students and professors argue that Rice's honoring of war criminals, as they said, made her an unacceptable choice to speak, others were disappointed to not have the choice of opinion, or to rather have had it taken away from them. Similarly,
excited to have her here. She's like a very inspirational person to a lot of people.
I don't agree with her political views, and I didn't really want her to come to graduation to speak, because I feel like as a community we are endorsing everything she did. I felt like the people who protested against her did it for something that was near and dear to them, and that was the important part, and I felt like she respected their wishes, and that was very nice of her.
So similarly at Brandeis University, an invitation for Somali writer and American Enterprise Institute scholar Ayaan Hirsi Ali was withdrawn when his criticisms of radical Islam were said to have violated the school's core values. Many believe the officials were intimidated into rescinding their invitation due to the fear that Muslim students would be offended by his appearance. Are Western values of liberty under attack by the academically elite? Or are we protecting our youth from the insults, bullying and violence that might occur? Moreover, who should make these decisions? The debate now continues.
I think it's excellent, the points that you bring up right there. Certainly this talks a lot about not being able to certainly insult everybody these days. I mean, we talk about multiculturalism, diversity. Yep. Again, it comes down to, you would think that at the college level, you are going to learn that it is a free exchange of ideas. It's hard not to insult anybody these days.
Right, and that's an argument that many are having is are we too protective of our students? And you know, going forward, I think that there's a lot of vagueness surrounding this, and there needs to be some distinguishments made here. Obviously, one of them is between what we term or value as hate speech and free speech, because they are two very different things. So when something is deemed to be hateful, an opinion deemed to be hateful, many would say that we need to protect our university students from feeling that they are going to be bullied, from feeling that they are going to be marginalized. So that's an argumentative point that we've heard.
Well, if you look at it this way, and again, this is just one way of looking at it, that when Condoleezza Rice was told, don't bother showing up, those who wanted to hear from her, they were bullied.
Right.
There was a segment of that school society which bullied them into it and said, we don't want it, we don't need it, here's what's wrong with her, we're not going to have her here. So if we're going to talk about bullying,
right,
then there's a difference. There's still somebody trying to tell somebody else what you should hear and what you should listen to.
Absolutely, and you know, at the end of the day, it is up to you to make that decision as a student. And you know, a lot of people are saying, well, put it out there, you know, and you can decide. But then again, there are speakers that come in and are speaking to everyone. In the case of Condoleezza Rice, this wasn't you sign up for the speaker or not. Mm-hmm. It was a speech that everyone was going to hear. So I think there is a level of leaving it down to the student. A lot of people again have said, you know, private universities need the power to ban this, and public universities should follow the law of the land, Ed.
Well, and there's also those who would say some people call it hate speech, to some people it's a comment.
Right.
I mean, really, there are different things in there sometimes, but I will agree with you that they do need, if you're going to spew hate around the university, you don't need that, but at least have a casual exchange of ideas.
A casual exchange of ideas, and I think going forward we're going to see more and more students speak out about their viewpoints on what should and shouldn't be allowed in universities. And it doesn't just go from speakers, it goes to political viewpoints, meetings, organizations, you name it.
Social media, tell us if you're a parent of a student, if you are a student, weigh in on this. Tell us on Twitter, tell us in email, tell us on Facebook, because there are people telling you what you're allowed to hear at the university level. Midpoint, we question everything.